As a little girl, probably like most every little girl, I had that dream of getting married, and my dream is a little more specific though. I had a dream in my heart that I wanted to marry a pastor. My dad was a pastor, and I loved church life. I loved church people. I loved services. I loved everything about it. And as a little girl, I just felt just way deep down that that was just what I wanted to do with my life, is I wanted to be a pastor's wife. I was raised in church and, kind of did all the church things and committed my life to the Lord at a young age. And then I went to high school. I had been homeschooled previously, and then went to high school and got a taste of what the world offered, and I just dove like head first in. It was doing all the things on the surface that looked good. But kind of behind the scenes, 9, 10 o'clock at night, like things just shifted. And then I went into a whole like alter ego, all the things, drinking and running around with, the drugs and giving up my body to anybody and everything, just looking for love. And it was miserable. There was no hope for me to have that dream fulfilled anymore, like that I was used up, that nobody would want me, like let alone a pastor would never want somebody like me to be his wife. I thought that all of that was forever just lost. It just felt like beyond redemption. After high school, I went to school, went to college. I had a really incredible job. I had a great place to live. I had great friends. I had, kind of just the whole package. But I felt the entire time like so empty. I remember I would go out and we would have so much fun. We'd be wherever, hanging out, having a great time. But then I would have to go back home. And I remember just in the silence, it just felt like I was in an abyss, like floating in an abyss is the only way I know how to describe it. Everything I should have to be fulfilled, and nothing felt good. Once the Lord started working on me, I just thought, well, I don't want to give everything up, but I know that this is good. So I kept trying to do both. And eventually I got to a fork in the road, and I knew that the Lord was telling me, like, this is it. Either you're going to choose me or you're going to be lost for eternity. And I just felt the gravity of that, and I felt the weight of that. And I was in a church conference, and I was just laying on my face before the Lord, and I just finally, just broke, and I just surrendered and said, Lord, like, whatever you want to do with my life, like wherever you want me to go, whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. And I got this picture in my head, I guess I'll call it a vision or an image of these children and these little faces. And I just said, Lord, like, I'll go there, wherever that is, I'll go there. And I started researching ministries in the inner city, that was just so strongly pulling on my heart that I said, okay, Lord, I'm done with the success. I'm done with my jobs. I'm done with all these things. I'll do whatever you want. And I started, getting on Google and researching inner city ministries, and that led me to the Atlanta Dream Center. Somebody had posted a blog with, pictures and stories about the work that the Atlanta Dream Center was doing. And the pictures that I saw were like what I had seen in my head when I was having that vision, and I knew that the Lord was calling me to the Atlanta Dream Center. I just knew it. But I also knew that I was going to have to quit everything else I was doing in order to go, and that was my fork in the road. So I called my boss and said, hey, I'm going to quit my job, and I'm going to move to Atlanta to work in the kids ministry and be an intern. And they told me I was crazy. They were like, she literally said, you can't do this. You can't do this. Don't do this to yourself. It was like the height of the recession, like 2008. Nobody had jobs. And I had this incredible job. And it just looked crazy to lay it down. But I knew that I had to do it. I just knew I had to. So I did. I quit my job. I left Birmingham. I moved to Atlanta, and been here ever since. When I got here in 2009, I started working with the kids program, and within the first month or so had met who was then the youth pastor of the Atlanta Dream Center Church, Pastor Tommy. And within a couple of times of hanging out, the first time that we really, really sat down and kind of like had a heart to heart, God just drew our hearts together, and he spoke to both of us, and he told us we were going to get married. And we just looked at each other and we said, God told me I'm going to marry you. And I said, God told me I'm going to marry you too. And it sounds crazy to say it like that. Like, I wouldn't recommend that. That just sounds nuts. But it was real. And I mean, now I guess you can see 13 years later, it really was real. The Atlanta Dream Center is all about restoring people's God dreams. And so when I came here to work with the kids ministry, I thought, okay, I'm coming here to do this good work, and I'm going to help serve these kids, and I'm going to help restore God dreams. And that all sounded great. And then fast forward like 5-6 years, and I was sitting in this room, and all of a sudden it just hit me. And it all became so clear. I was like, I all along thought I was the one that was coming here to help restore other people's God dreams. And then it hit me that I was the one who had my God dream restored at the Atlanta Dream Center Church. And I just started bawling. I lost it.